Dun, dun, dun. So was that great timing or what? We start a bit early. Andreas and Thurman show up during the credits.
Oh,
But we are back. The 12th episode, second campaign of Turning the Wheel. We join the remnants of the crew of Araxes Prize as they have recently met the Eladrin twins, Phelan and Folin, who some of them have anger issues and some of them are striking bargains with dark powers issues. But they nonetheless continue in an underground laboratory of some sort in the Eternal Empire of Kindus. When last we faced, it was immediately after the Eladrin twins would have encountered their very first strange creature that appeared to be half in this world, half in another. Had several eye stalks, was shooting a bunch of things, and rays and attacking them with psychic powers, etc. And there's where we will pick up, is immediately after that creature has died.
Another dreamer down.
Infinite more to go.
Don't be so cheery, boys. Let's get out of here.
Well, maybe we should rest or finish exploring this place. I don't know if we've been everywhere in it.
All of it sucks. What you see is what you get. It sucks. We should just, not do the suck thing and go away. Get out.
And you know that Folin knows that because she's been confined to one room the entire time she's been here.
Yeah, so it sucks.
If I had the chance, I'd blow the entire place up.
yeah, this place is a horror.
Phelan and Philip, what has been your experience here? Have you been in this stasis? Do you even know what year it is?
It's that time, yeah, that year. What year is it, Mr. World?
As far as you know, it's been at least 14 years since the Green Knight's wedding.
So it's been about 14 years since the wedding that I remember. So 14 years after that year's date is when it is right now.
So where you're from, they don't necessarily track years so much as compare them to big events. And obviously the Green Knight's wedding was very important to you, Bolin.
And right now, Phelan's just kind of staring at you darkly, like you have no idea and you do not want to know what my experience has been.
Not always in that stasis. And I'll show you the kind of cuts and stuff as you've seen. Sometimes metal tables and sharp objects, but a lot of times that too.
I assume also we're taking a short rest while we talk here and chit-chat, get some background. Mr. World.
Sure.
Yeah, is it a safe thing to do?
Sure. They killed everything that was in this room before.
What about the long rest?
I mean,
We
if
just
you want
had
to
one of
sleep
those.
where a dreamer was just chilling,
No, we
that's your choice.
Wait, we didn't.
No,
We didn't long rest. I'm
No.
still got no rage.
We need to find a safer spot, not in a dreamer habitat or with the people who imprison you, Phelan. Do you know their names? As far as we know, this was a creator location of some kind.
No, I don't think we ever caught any actual names just lots of doctor type people, strange machinery, things we've never seen before. But no names, no.
They didn't care to give us their names.
They treated you so badly.
They didn't even speak really out loud. A lot of nods, and I don't know, it was strange. Almost as if they were communicating in some other form. I don't know.
Well, that's how they get you in the mind. They hit your mind. Just crush it.
Here's an important question: were they bipedal and humanoid, or giant, monstrous tentacle things?
Bipedal and humanoid for the most part.
Well, I'm trying to think if we have any more rooms in this complex that we have not uncovered. We went through the white, the blue. Perhaps the white was the only thing left. But I really don't want to go by Mr. Nasty again, if you know what I mean.
I believe the white is how we found Phelan and Folan.
You mean our new best friend?
Oh, man.
I mean, I want to go hug him.
I don't really remember any of these other places in this facility. I don't know how to get out of here.
We know the way out, I think, but just the thing is, see, we have a friend. His name was Grimjaw, and he came out here from our homeland, and there's some very mysterious things that happened to him, and we believe that he somehow brought or potentially brought back some of these dreamer creatures back to the mainland.
Well, he brought an item, remember? I don't think it was the creature. I think they were attached to the item.
And he was adrift in the middle of the sea, not to the mainland yet, where we found him.
Well, he was on his way, of course.
Yeah. So we kind of stopped some kind of infestation of either a magical or some sort. But apparently, according to Ballard, we need to continue preventing this from spreading to the mainland. So that brings me to the point that we're trying to find where Grimjaw went originally and had stumbled into this problem. Does that make sense?
So a guy that you know
Grimjaw.
came to this place and got an object, and the object was cursed, I assume, from the way it sounds, and he took it back to your home and it caused issues.
We're not sure, but he brought it back, but we're not sure because we kind of sunk the vessel before it reached the mainland.
Oh.
But we got his logbook, and it traces, according to my navigational skills, it traces back here probably another 40 to 50 miles to the west. To the west.
It's like the southeast.
Southeast.
If you had to guess, the road that you were on before probably ends near those ruins.
So we could get back on the road and get out of this torture chamber filled with demons. And
I say before we get back out on the road, we do rest for quite a bit. I feel I am coming up on my limit.
I'm close to my limit too.
Can we barricade the entrance of this place and rest at one of the antechambers?
Sure, if you know how to get to the entrance.
Let's go back the way we came. Because we're out of the dream stuff right now once we kill the dreamer. Yes.
Correct. The dream.
Is anybody mapping this dungeon?
I thought you were.
I don't map stuff.
I thought Thurman was.
I left all my drawing tools at home.
Drawing
Well-
clues.
I'm no cartographer, but I'm pretty good at tracking stuff. So maybe once we get some supplies, I could help map. Maybe.
I do understand that mapping is quite important. So, where are we now?
You're in a large room where you once fought an earth elemental that destroyed all the things in the room.
And then there was a dreamer that appeared this time as we were making our way back out of the dungeon.
Well, you weren't necessarily making your way out of the dungeon so much as when you moved into this space in sort of the dreamscape, there was a dreamer here.
But we're out of the dreamscape now, right?
Yep.
Um,
The influence of the dreamer no longer impacts your world.
So I remember this room was quite close to the entrance exit. So what kind of doors, entranceways, openings?
There's a door to the south, and there's a door that you came in, you think, from the west.
let's go south.
You move south, and in here you see the two sets of strange sort of fibrous armor that had once attacked you, and then there's the long, sort of strange white glassy rock on one side that has some sort of markings that appear to be a really complicated math problem as well on the east wall in this room.
I'll figure it out. Give me a second. Carry 1 over the 2 minus. Hold on, let me start again.
Thurman, how many ones do you think you can carry at one time?
Thurman, I give you guidance. You have this. You have the guidance of the gatekeeper.
What is that? Investigation check?
Give me an Arcana check.
Arcana check. Oh my god.
Please tell me you rolled a 20.
I rolled an 18.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the
Hold
guidance?
on.
What's your
Guidance.
total with guidance?
With guidance, 18. Yeah, because I'm -1 to Arcana.
So you've been stewing over this really since you first saw it, because you haven't really flown into a rage in a while, and your mind's
Right.
been sort of like still and focused and distracted by the arcane symbols that you've seen along the wall.
Calm Hulk.
And now, as you walk by it again, bits of it seem to sort of almost make sense before fading away, as you lack the skills really to put the last couple pieces together. But you get the sense that this is some sort of, not so much a code as a sequence that is important to remember, if you can just figure out those last few parts.
So I tell everybody who's the smartest in our group, or actually, I guess Thaddeus, you're the most arcane, right? I'd expect.
Phelan is pretty
Phelan?
arcane as
I
well.
was going to say,
Phelan.
probably not anymore.
All right,
I have a +3 in Arcana.
Phelan,
Guidance!
Fallen, listen to me. Listen, there's a pattern here.
I have it so close. I'm right there. If I just had a few more minutes, I'd be able to get it. But this is how it goes. See? Do you see?
So, Phelan's gonna go over and take a look at it and see what she can glean that maybe no one else has yet.
Okay. And so you're very unfamiliar with the symbols that are used here, and you're quite certain that if the barbarian has figured out any pattern in what you're looking at, that it is luck rather than skill that is revealing the pattern to him.
After looking at it for a little bit, I'm just gonna shake my head and say this does not make sense at all to me.
Well, what does it say? Write it down.
I mean, it's written on the wall out in front of you.
I know, but you can, if you write something down on a paper in front of you, then you can move things around. You can't move the wall around.
It's fair. You take it with you.
Thurman could move the wall around.
Does it look like I have a pen in this outfit?
Yeah. So Phelan, you very clearly do not have a pen.
I'm gonna roll my eyes at you, like I didn't just come from the same stupid tube that you did.
And you're actually, oh, you guys got leather armor, right? That Siegfried had with him, or
Yes.
Folan at least does. But Phelan hasn't found any clothes. So she's still wearing just
she
like
should
the
also
threadbare.
She should also have
Prisoner
leather
clothes.
armor because
That's
Yeah.
okay.
4 sets.
Oh, pipe down, Andreas. That's my sister.
Phelan's unfazed by that.
Thaddeus will pull out his ink pen, ink, and parchment. Parchment? Where's the parchment? Did I not fucking buy parchment?
Didn't we lose all our shit?
I thought we still had our shit, like on our back. Like we
Right
lost
on
the
your hand.
fishing stuff.
I thought we were like butt naked on the shore.
No,
That
I mean,
was
you
just
lost
you.
most of your extra stuff, but
Okay, cool.
I think that was a personal choice on your end.
I'm butt naked. Look at me.
Apparently, I lost my parchment. Yeah. I have ink and an ink pen, but no parchment.
Well, it probably got wet.
Yeah. Probably got
Big-
destroyed.
Big time. I thought we were all going to die. Oh, this thing is a real pickle, huh? I should have give you a little encouragement, you know? I could have given you my bardic encouragement.
Phelan is now going to realize how naked she is and see if there's anything else around she can wear.
There is another set of leather armor that you should have gotten last week because I told both of you to take
she can't wear that.
I can't wear that.
anything.
It offends me.
Just take a couple pieces off and count it as.
Yeah, just put it as common clothes or something, right? Like just
So
wear it.
you guys
wear
will
it.
also recall you guys were attacked by strange clothes in this room, and you didn't grab them and just left them on the ground.
Well, they attacked us, so why would we grab them? Well, what are these?
But
moving.
Did you defeat them? I mean, I'll wear the clothes that you defeated, I guess.
We don't really know
They got
what
kind
they
of a
are.
negativeness to them, though, you know?
Or are they just animated?
I mean,
don't-
if it beat us, then they'd probably be better than the defeated
Do
clothing.
we have any way to identify stuff? I don't think so.
Do we have a way to identify things? That's a good question.
I don't.
I mean, I have eyes. Does that count?
I'll roll mine in your direction.
Roll for eyes.
Roll for breathing.
If only I had an abnormally large trunk to sniff things out.
That's right.
We all have our own things. So let's not bring that up right now.
So are we barricading this room and sleeping in it, or are we moving on out of here and finding a better place that's safe to rest?
So, Phelan, as you look at these clothes, they're some sort of clothes that are made out of a material that you've certainly never seen before.
Oh, this is fancy. Does it feel nice?
No, but as you begin to fondle it, suddenly a bad memory is triggered of the people who were hosting you. Generally wore clothes like these.
I'm gonna drop that piece of clothing suddenly as my eyes kind of go into a very distant, far off place at that memory. I might rather be naked.
Listen, Phelan, how about this? I have my shirt. You can borrow my shirt.
But then you will be partially naked.
But at least my bottom bits will be covered.
I will take the shirt and put it on.
It looks good if you kind of keep the collar high. See? You keep the collar so it's sticking straight up.
And I'll kind of just pop the collar a little bit and stare at you.
Yeah. I got my breastplate at least.
Oh, once I put this shirt on that Andreas so very generously gave me, I'm going to realize that I'm very tall and it doesn't cover my important bits. So,
Andres is taller than you are, however. So maybe it just doesn't cover them in a modest way to suit your sensibilities.
well, coming from Andreas, that wouldn't surprise me.
If you'll allow, I'll take the torn surcoat that I have with the white lion's head on the black field and rip it off and hand it to you as at least some kind of covering.
I look at all of you and I look down at the clothes on the ground and I shiver as I pick them up, since it doesn't help if everyone else is partially nude either.
I still have armor on. It's just an outer covering, but it's okay.
I look very silly with a breastplate with no shirt underneath of it.
So I'll hand you your shirt back and kind of begrudgingly put on these clothes, shivering at the memories as they return.
Thurman rips off a tiny bit of his the clothing, the sash and stuff he has on, and
Yeah, this little square right here. This will cover you because I'm so big. That will cover you. Put that on.
Yeah, maybe you can make a nice shawl.
You guys make a wisdom save to avoid looking at what Thurman just revealed by stripping part of his loincloth away. Avert your eyes.
Woo!
You've never seen something so magnificent.
He is a
21
Goliath.
21 for me. It looks pretty good.
Siegfried
It's a nice package.
staring straight at it.
Phelan might just be interested, I think, at this point, because I got a 1.
Everybody is just so. Thurman rips too much of his loincloth away.
Look at my gloriousness. Look at it. You like it?
I looked at my own business.
Andreas, you feel slightly inadequate.
Yeah,
You wonder. You're starting to wonder how they got the name Goliath.
Goliath, eh?
When Phelan can kind of like avert her eyes and get dressed, she's gonna turn around to Folan and say, "How do I look? Is it bad?"
Well, you don't look like that guy. And I'm going to point to Thurman. Could be worse.
And with that, I am content.
All right. So, what kind of entrances, exits we got in this chamber?
So once again, you came in through this door to the north. There is a door across the way to the south.
All right.
To the south.
To the south. Maybe I should start actually mapping.
We should be almost out of here. So if we can find
And
the
then
exit.
you are in a short hallway that has a staircase going up.
That's it. This is out.
After a long climb up the staircase, you are back on the surface. It is now the early morning as you reach up and your eyes are squinting against the brightness, and certainly your eyes miss the sort of faint, softly glowing light of whatever those crystals were that lit that lamp.
God, I'm tired. There's a dawn before me, and I feel like I haven't slept for 3 days. Any stars left in the sky?
Not much. It's dawn was probably several hours ago as you look up at how high the sun was.
Well, we know we just got to follow the road. But we got to don't you think we should try to find some cover? Maybe a ruined building or something to try to get a nice long rest?
Yeah, that's
We
why
should stay here.
I suggested we stay inside.
And then we'd still have the late afternoon to travel by light east where we need to go, and then you'll have the stars to help pinpoint where we need to go, right?
Makes sense. I mean, looking out from here, do we see anything on the outside of that would suit our fancy?
So, I mean, the immediate area is just the road, the sort of winding through hills. You know that not too far back are the ruins of a city, but you did encounter sort of a wasting away injured dreamer when you were in the city before.
Yep.
But probably somebody here might be able to help you find a safe place. Because, they have like skills to check and do that.
So what I'm thinking is we need to just hit the road and get out of this horrible torture chamber and find something, get some rest. Because, I mean, this place is filled with dreamers. And you know how Mr. World is. He hates a long rest.
I don't hate it. I just, you have to be safe to take it.
Right.
We could be safe here by barricading the door and staying in the first room. Then there's no travel investigation. We're just here, and then we leave.
Yeah, but then the dreamers can just kind of unveil the dream world on top of our reality, and then next thing you know, we're fighting them in the dream world.
They could do that anywhere, it seems.
Yeah.
And we have these.
Well, we
kid
can put it up
toys.
to a vote. That'd be very democratic of us. This place just gives me the creeps. I mean, I had the tongue up my ass. I had all kinds of crazy things down here. Bad vibes.
You met your husband. And the box. Who has the box?
I think Thaddeus has the box.
I don't have the box. We have the stone.
Whoever has the box. I have the box in my thing. Can our new friends, do you know anything about this box?
What's in the box?
I don't think we've ever seen that box before.
Yeah.
Mr. Wolf,
Man,
why don't you go ahead and describe that box?
So the box is a couple inches deep and about 1.5 feet long, and it's described. It's made not necessarily substance, and like the doors and things you found in it, doesn't appear to have any obvious latch on it as you look at it. Though, if you applied the logic of from the doors inside, you would assume there's some sort of mechanisms inside the box that would open it if you were able to adjust them somehow.
Yeah, I don't think I'm any help on that box at all, actually.
can I take a closer look at it?
Here. We think the incubus, who is now Andreas' husband, is looking for this.
How did one acquire a husband in a place such as this, Andres?
Well, I got so many wives that I figured I got to mix it up and have a husband too.
What
No,
about
it
the
was
frog?
It was a demon frog, and
Is the frog your husband or your wife?
it
No.
tried to seduce me, and it worked.
No, before the demon frog, you met your husband, remember? They tried to help you roll your save successfully, and you kept failing.
That's right.
You're
had
in love
me,
with an incubus.
I was in love with this strange male incubus.
You met the most beautiful man in the kitchen down there, but then he left because your friends attacked him.
I mean, he was in the kitchen. He was in touch with his feelings. Anyway, I'm closing that chapter of my life.
You
The frog
feel
chapter
you
or
feel
your
the
husband
heartache
chapter?
as you try to say those words.
But anyway, there was some interest. I just want to kind of get out of this place. And this box, yeah. What do you guys think?
Phelan, what are you doing to look at this box?
I'm just kind of turning it over in my hands, looking at it from every angle, running my fingers along it, just kind of, seeing the whole box and trying to figure out its secrets.
So, doing that, you find out the same thing that everybody else has found. It's made out of some strange material, certainly nothing like they had at home. You're not certain if it's metal or some kind of stone, but it's hard and it's white and it appears to be seamless. But as you shift the box around, you can hear something sliding inside of it. But what is inside it seems to be big and take up most of the space and doesn't appear to be related to the mechanism.
What if I knock on it?
It makes like a type of sound.
Does it have anything written on it, Phelan? Like any inscriptions or anything?
No.
Can I like see if I can use prestidigitation to like mark it.
Yeah. What type of marker are you trying to make on the surface of it?
Maybe just like a simple rune or anything, just kind of like anything to give me an idea of what the material is. Does it hold a mark? Does it react to the magic?
So it does hold your magical mark on it, but it doesn't appear to react in any other way.
Should we try something? If you're up for it, come up and put my hand on the box. You hold it. Something Ballard told me was to use our will against the dreamers. Perhaps if we will the box to open, it will open.
Yeah. Siegfried, listen.
Try to think really hard to open.
Yeah.
Andreas, get in here too. Everybody will this fucking box to open.
All right, I use my very strong will to just charismatically just open.
Are we rolling a test?
Sure.
What kind?
Charisma will work, and if charisma works, I'm gonna have Andreas try to cast a spell. So he'll then make an Arcana check related to changing the nature of his spell to try this.
Okay.
Are we all rolling charisma?
Can I get a guidance check from somebody on this?
Guidance.
13.
All right. I need to see the rest of the charisma checks.
Okay, is everyone doing one, or who's doing one?
I think we're all doing it at the same time.
Yep.
I mean, I
got a
assume I
14.
had to. I'm touching the box.
So I got a 17.
Okay, so Andreas, you have advantage on that Arcana check to manipulate a casting of Mage Hand to do what you need to do.
I got a 13 total.
On your check with advantage.
Yep.
All right. You are able to push your Mage Hand uniquely through the surface of this material. And like for the first time, you briefly feel not like you're manipulating an object, but like that your will is actually manipulating a thing. The hand sinks in, and then you're so surprised you lose focus. Because you've never gotten your magic to behave that way before.
At seeing that, Phelan might want to try as well. With her mage hand. Can I touch it with the mage hand?
Wait a minute, Phelan. Hold on 1 second.
Yes, Andreas.
You know what? Sometimes you got to take it to the limit. You can never look back. You just got to do it. You got to give it. Take it to the limit. All right. I gave you my bardic inspiration. You get a plus 1d8.
Okay, so is that going to be an Arcana check, Mr. World?
Yes. What'd you get?
I had a 13 with the extra D8. So.
Okay. And so you sort of, you haven't been around Ballard. You haven't sort of seen the way that the Kalashtar magic it works. And you didn't quite understand what Siegfried meant by use your will. But so you're just trying to like force your mage hand through the surface, and you're just pressing and pressing with your will. But it's almost like you're pressing your hand against a table or a wall just like you would normally expect. Your hand doesn't pass through the surface to do anything. And that's your guys' tries for the day on that particular technique that you don't have the feats to do.
I think we're close to something here. All right, so we got to decide, are we going to stay in this torture chamber, or are we going to go and make our way off into the bush?
I think that depends on Fullen. Do you think you can find a place for us to rest that's safer than what we already have?
I've got a 22 perception check to look around, Mr. World.
So this is a survival check to find a safe place.
And 26, nat 20.
So you're able to sort of follow what appears to be at first you see a game trail, but then this game trail you see a lot of sort of scuffed, some sort of humanoid feet on this game trail. Which when you point out to your friends, immediately make them, to your perception, look sort of startled, and you like this game trail that obviously would under other circumstances seem like a safe place to go without even speaking much. You can tell that it's not safe, and instead you then find your way to a lesser used game trail that nonetheless you're able to find your way along. And then eventually you find a small cave that has a trickle of water flowing down along the side that'll give you guys enough water to fill your canteens and rest.
Yeah, so I'll tell my friends all that and lead them to the place so we can get set up and ready for the night.
Before we leave, let's try to hide this entrance again and close it off, because the dreamers were trying to get into it.
Yeah. Can you imagine if a dreamer got
But
in
then
there?
But then one was in there already? Maybe
The
they were trying to...
Unsevered were trying to get in.
Yeah. Maybe
And-
they're trying to get the dreamer out?
Let's roll a wisdom check to see what you remember about what Ballard told you about the Unsevered and how they find things,
Am I getting
and why he gave you certain items.
So they couldn't find us.
Right.
Am I getting
It's-
guidance on this?
You're just trying to remember. You don't get guidance on everything.
I want to remind everything. It's 17, so 19.
You remember that the Unsevered are attracted to like thoughts. And it comes to mind that you can think of at least two people who would have been underground who probably had thoughts that might have attracted the Unsevered to that space.
That's very fair. But there
And
is
it's not
a
two, certainly three.
It's true. There is a demon lich lord down there stuck. So let's not let whoever he can contact release him. Right, Phelan?
I'm just gonna look at you like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't enter into that pact willingly.
I'm going to infer from your facial
What
expressions that you
pact?
agree with me. She's thinking in her head, not out loud. But covering the entrance, get some dirt, some leaves, some shovels.
Yeah, Thaddeus has a shovel.
Okay, give me a stealth check that uses intelligence, somebody to hide that door. My guess
try
is somebody like
stealth.
Folan or Thurman might be
Survival.
the best at that.
I got a +4 if I take my.
If you want to using intelligence, I'm not. But if you want to stealth with my dex, then yes.
I don't want a normal stealth check. You're being smart to hide this trap door from people who are walking by it. It's
Yeah,
not
that's-
so much.
Wisdom, not intelligence for me.
Can
All right.
we-
Well, you can have Thurman do it with advantage to work together.
yeah, work together, teamwork.
Give me a roll, Thurman.
I'll take my half plate off to do this. Oh, let me take this off. Oh,
Now he's completely naked.
No, I still got my loincloth. I adjusted it a little bit.
He twisted it around to the side.
Hey, that's right.
Now just lefties hanging loose.
Right. 14.
Okay. He scrabbles some rocks and kicks some dirt back over it, pauses, looks at it again, kicks some dirt over top of it, and goes, good. Tired.
Need rest. Bad. Ow.
You guys can make your way to the cave. And how do you set yourselves up for your long rest?
Well, Phelan and I only need 4 hours instead of 8. So everybody else could take a full 8. We could do a 4 and 4.
Yes, but only 4 of us have items to protect us from the dreamers while we rest. So we have to break it up and make sure we're all protected when we are resting.
Well, I don't
They can borrow mine while I'm awake.
require sleep. You can have mine for this if you need it.
So Siegfried is correct in that his race doesn't sleep at all. They just sit there staring out occasionally. But what the Eladrin will certainly find is that entering the elven version of the dream and entering the dream in the way that elves and Eladrin do is not safe, and they do need the devices to help keep them safe. Or they need to know the ways that the Kalashtar keep themselves safe while they sleep, which I don't believe they do. Looking at these spell lists. And by these spell lists, I mean one spell list.
Since Siegfried said he doesn't need his, we could just swap that back and forth during the rest time.
All right.
I'll take first watch.
So I need everybody who is resting to make an intelligence saving throw that has advantage because of the item.
$14.
17.
What is it? Intelligence?
Yes, intelligence save with advantage.
I got a 6.
Oh no, Phelan. Okay, we will do Phelan's dream first.
Oh no.
Phelan attempts to enter the reverie in her meditative way, and instead finds herself trapped in a hellscape as the fires burn around her, and she's reminded of a conversation that was happening at a glacial pace as she was trapped in stasis, calling out to help. And she looks up and she sees again a hooded face that pulls his hood back and stares, and their eyes meet. And his eyes are like black coals with something inside them glowing and giving it an inner warmth. And it tells Phelan, I've kept my promise. Keep yours. Phelan Dormammu. I know your name. And Phelan, when you awaken at the end of this bad dream, you will take 10 psychic damage after you've applied the healing of your long rest.
Okay.
So, Phelan, as you two switch places in your elvish transness, Siegfried has stood at the entrance of the cave, facing in, with the sword out, but the sword is facing all of you, like the face, not the point, but the face of the sword, pointed into the ground, and has stayed motionless and still the entire time.
And Siegfried, you certainly would have seen the unrest in both Phelan as she attempts to meditate. Phelan, you would notice this as well. But when you attempted to shake her out of the reverie and wake her up, you were unable to do so. But you also see that Andreas is tossing fitfully, as Andreas has a dream where the love of his life, the man who he met in the basement, is chained and being pierced by swords slowly by the lich demon that he met underground as well, cackling and screaming. And then slowly Andreas blinks to find that they've been replaced, and he feels as if he's being pierced throughout by various swords and a hook through his genitals. He will also take 10 psychic damage upon being healed and awakening. But the rest of you do not have any bad dreams. Your wills apart and hide yourselves from the effects of the thinned dreamscape in the realm of the dreamers here.
Right, so we get a good long rest in.
Correct.
And how far are we where I found us from the place that we needed to head?
Long enough that
Like
it's
the
safe,
direction,
but
I
not
guess.
so long that it's hard to get back to the road. You really found yourself quite a good place with your survival check there.
I feel so powerful and strong.
And you said, Andres, you said that we got to head, southeast?
Yeah, we should just keep following this road southeast.
Follow me.
So when we went into the cave, it was like early morning. So we slept throughout the daytime. So it's like
Correct.
evening now.
Correct.
Given what you folks know or what you remember when you came in, do you think it's safe to travel this road at night, or should we stick to the forest line at the edge of the road?
It's fine.
I don't know. That's where we encountered the dreamers. I mean, the unsevered. Right along the road.
Right on the road? They weren't like in the side of the road or anything. They were just right there.
Yeah, they were investigating, and I think they were trying to dig a hole to get to you two. Because that's how we discovered this place. Because they were digging. You see? They're digging a hole to try to get underneath there to get you.
Why would these unsevered be coming for us? I'll say as we start walking the direction.
Or just because they detect your thoughts and they want to get up in your head. That's our understanding so far.
It's what they did to Grimjaw.
I mean, last night I had horrible dreams. Horrible. I don't even want to talk about it.
You were shaking and rocking a lot. So were you, Phelan.
My meditation was not peaceful, that is for sure.
That is, you slept like a baby.
Why do you watch me sleep?
I'm always watching.
Well, what do you guys think? You want to creep through the woods or take the faster trail on the road? Let me get out my navigation tools here real quick and do a navigation roll.
I would like to get as far away from that facility as quickly as possible.
So Andreas, what is your survival roll?
It is a 5.
Fortunately, you look up and all you see is the sun, and you feel completely hopeless at navigating without the stars. But you do remember that the road goes southeast.
Yeah, it's just a choice. Are we gonna go real fast on the road, or are we gonna go through the woods? I think that's a democratic choice between the bunch of us.
Nothing is gained from avoiding conflict.
Okay, I'm assuming that's the road.
The road is faster.
The road is faster, and but we'll be exposed. But that's why we got Thurman.
Thurman's already exposed.
Thurman will expose himself to prevent our exposure. It is
So,
fine.
yes,
Whatever you want me to do, I'll expose myself.
I mean,
Please-
if you stay like that,
please
that'll
don't.
intimidate anybody. All right, well, let's go.
Folan, lead us, please.
Well, I'll do my best, but I'm not super familiar with this area. And I'm a little rusty from all the time I spent underground. The sunlight hurts a little bit.
I am going to assume that you guys continue to talk as you move down the road until it fizzles out and you guys getting to know these people who you just met the day before. And then we'll see what happens.
Yeah. That sounds like a plan. Just going to keep on moving.
I'm just happy for the fresh air.
Yeah, that was very traumatic for you, I'm sure.
I don't know if traumatic quite broaches, but I would very much like to go home. This place, not home.
This whole place is terrible. I mean, there's no joy in this area. I mean, I've been here for like 5 days or something, and there's no drinks. There's no smokes. Nobody seems to have any. It's not even like we can just grind through these enemies and then hope to have some kind of nice banquet waiting for us at home. It's quite grim. Yeah, let's get home. But they don't have ships. And we're like 1,000 miles east of the main continent. Did you know that?
No. This place is very much unfamiliar to us in our forest where we recon.
Well, however you got here, we came here the long way. And we literally sailed across the sea to get here. And once we got here, we find out they have no ships. but they have these portals. See, that's interesting.
You said they have
Portals.
Yeah, that's how we got here. We came from Featherby, and they teleported us here. Ballard gave us this stone. I think Thaddeus has it. And they kind of like teleported us here so that we could continue on to Grimjaw's trail.
a portal to go home would be sent from the stars itself, I would say.
I wish I could encourage your positivity on there, but it doesn't seem like Ballard's interested in getting us home at all.
Well, you see, the order I was studying to be a part of when we were kidnapped, I was learning a little bit about planar and portal magic. I'm nowhere near as magically adept as my sister, but I can do some fancy stuff sometimes.
Well,
Do you think?
don't leave me here, please. If you go home, don't leave me here.
Well, do you think that the place where we need to be going, or where your friend is, since we're accompanying you, Grimjaw, where he went, do you think he maybe went through a portal somewhere?
No, because he was on a ship, and he sailed the ship there, and he sailed back.
Very interesting. What happened to your ship?
Kraken.
What's a kraken?
It's like a gigantic squid sea creature with a high intelligence that employs like fish people to work for them.
I've already unleashed the Kraken.
Forgive my ignorance, but what's a giant squid?
Well, it's like you know what a tentacle is?
Oh, Huli knows what a tentacle is.
Only in the movies.
Well, tentacles. It's got a bunch of tentacles, and it generally is a carnivore. Destroys everything. Destroys ships.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, so we're like a month away from home by ship. But they have no ships, so we'd have to make our own ship, you know?
Yes, that doesn't seem very time effective, does it, to have to create a ship to leave here?
I mean, it's possible, but we would have to have the right materials, and it would estimate, I don't know, a year and a half to make something that's seaworthy enough, you know?
Yes, no, that's not. That's very time consuming. Mr. World, question.
Mm-hmm.
What does this area look like, since it's the first time I'm kind of getting to see anything but a prison cell?
So this entire world, or this entire area of the world, particularly compared to your home, looks dead to you. It's flat. It's mostly rocks. You can see part of a mountain range that you see far in the distance to the northeast. Looks as if like the tops of some of the mountains were sheared off at some point. Every now and then you see giant craters in the ground. Sometimes the road will go through a crater and you're forced to climb in and out, working together to pull each other up on the other side. But something very, very terrible clearly happened to this place. To your trained eye, it looks like at least a couple decades ago, but unlike any sort of effect you had seen in the Feywild.
And are there like any sort of living creatures or anything in this desolation, like any kind of birds or anything around, or no?
There aren't many. Every now and then you can sort of hear in the distance a bird, or you can see sort of like large condor-like vultures up above, sort of like soaring, and then they'll attract you, or you can see them sort of circling something in the distance. But there's not really anywhere for small creatures to hide, and so you don't really see any small creatures around.
Fallen. Look, I am a bird watcher. Look, see, there's a birdie. There's a birdie. Over there's a birdie too.
You know, that's a pretty good skill you got there, Thurman. Maybe you could teach me how to watch birds like that someday.
It takes a long time to learn.
Well,
But usually you can tell when they have the wings.
valid. Yes, I could tell it's a bird because it has wings. You know, yes. You have to teach me sometime.
Yeah, he's been working on this skill for a long time now. He concentrates very deeply on it. I mean, you should see how deeply he stares out at these birds sometimes.
I learned too, because not all things with wings are birds. There are bats, but the things with beaks, those are the birds.
Okay, so beaks and wings, clear indicator of birds. See, we're learning. I'm learning today. You're teaching me things. I've never been around birds or animals before. So it's just, really great information, Thurman. I really, really appreciate you and your high level of intelligence.
I'm a very good teacher too. It's another thing I do good.
You do it all really good. So, anyway, birds. Yep, we found them. So what do you like to do other than watch for birds, Thurman? I think you said, Andreas maybe said you're a soldier, something like that.
I was in the Sons of the Marines, and then I was a mercenary for a while. And then I joined up with my friends.
Senda, is that where you're from? Senda?
It is the greatest place in the world. The mountains, the forests, the best ever.
The bars, the shanties. I mean, they have life there. The animals, there's so many animals. Let me ask you, Fallen, do you see any kind of plants or herbs that can be taken as a medicinal?
No, I don't.
Jeez. So no wonder they don't have anything to drink or anything.
So Folan looked around when you said that and spent some time looking, and has confirmed sort of her suspicions. The land in this area is dead.
This land is death and decay, Andreas. Nothing.
There's no decay. It's almost like
Oh no, there is.
whatever light was forced out of it immediately, and it's just been dead for a long time.
There very much is decay, Mr. World. The decay of my mental state for every moment that I have to be in this god awful place. That's fair. That's fair.
I understand. That's how I feel. Because this place is it's like just been sucked dry of all life and happiness and joy and alcohol.
Well, they did fight off the Dreamers for the most part. They had to. They had to destroy the land or try to destroy them.
I wonder what brings these dreamers to this place. What is it that they have here that these dreamers want?
Well, it was what were called the crafters that brought them to this place. We don't know how they were brought in, but all we know it was them that brought them here.
Yeah, it was some kind of mistake they made, I think.
And then are the crafters the original inhabitants of this land? Or are they...
No, they were like part of the nation They're the ones that basically made their items and built their ships, their airships, so their technology.
Yeah, they used to have ships that could fly in the air. I think we even saw one destroyed. Very high tech with nets, webbing, and such.
I don't think I've ever seen a ship that flies. Where we come from, that's not. We have small ships that move through like rivers and things of the sort, but nothing too big. And I guess they're not really ships, more like boats, you could say. And I've never had to drive one, so that's that. Mr. World, how many traveling hours does it take us to get to the place that we're T-boning this road into?
Until it quits being fun for you guys to get to know each other while traveling.
Oh, well. Okay. All right. Fair answer, I suppose. Yeah, Thaddeus.
So for Martin, like 20 minutes ago. For
Yeah.
some of you, maybe next week.
Siegfried has been covered in birds and butterflies this whole time, silently walking.
There were certainly no butterflies.
They were imaginary butterflies. Okay, use your imagination.
Siegfried is having walking daydreams of butterflies.
It's all just crows and various bugs that flock to me
Siegfried had
because
lifted
of the
me up
smell of death.
and carried me around, apparently.
That was earlier at night.
Phelan is enjoying the birds, but really wishing that they were creatures from her homeland.
I think our forest smells better than this one does.
I'm pretty sure everything smells better than this does.
Yeah, because this place stinks. It stinks. All around stinks.
Now, where exactly are you from?
Yeah, where are we from? Hey?
We hail from Arborea, in the Feywild.
Whoa. So you're Fae. Whoa.
Phelan's kind of gonna just like look herself up and down and give you a look like that wasn't obvious.
Well, I've never met someone from the actual Feywild.
I'm casting speak with animals on one of the birds, on one of the bigger birds of prey.
Come here, buddy. Come here.
They're like vultures way up in the sky. Thurman.
Okay, there's nothing landing nearby.
No, you guys are very much alive. They land when they think stuff is dead.
There's ones around me then, yeah.
Thurman, play dead. They'll come to you.
Perhaps
Yeah.
someday we can show you our home.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I could sing a song about it someday.
And Thurman, he likes birds. There's some really pretty interesting calling birds in our forest.
Birds are so cool.
Oh, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just thought of something. Okay. Just like in Sendus, there was the threat of these dreamers and these unsevered somehow infesting the land. Is that a concern with the Feywild as well?
Well, I would like to be able to, in good faith, say no, but clearly we were taken from our home and brought to this place somehow.
Dark magic.
It was certainly not a concern when we were last there. However long ago that was.
Well, let's get on out to this southeastern terminus. I have a feeling it's somewhere on the coast.
As you guys continue walking down the road, eventually up ahead, you guys hear several loud explosions racking the ground up ahead.
I run for cover.
These aren't explosions that you can see. You can just hear them.
That's enough.
I'm not running for cover. I want to investigate, Mr. Road.
Andreas, I thought you were a brave man. Where are you going?
Yeah, but you never know.
Andreas, come here. I'll protect you. You know that. I know you don't like the noises.
Thurman, pull him close. Close to where your loincloth was ripped.
Come here.
All right. I'm coming. I'll just stay low. I'm going to stay real low.
Nice and low. That's right.
Much like Phelan is unfazed by this noise and kind of wants to know where it came from.
You guys move forward, and you see a large crater ahead, and you can see some sort of movement inside. If you're going to attempt to get closer without being seen, you're going to have to do something besides just walk up.
You said inside what?
Inside of the crater, like you can tell it's a crater, and you can hear something sort of like moving down there, but you can't really see what it is.
Let's chop down the bushes and move with the bushes like we're moving bushes.
Throw a grenade down in the hole.
What's a grenade?
Sometimes we would rig up these we would rig up like a vial of acid with a couple rocks next to it and like tie it with rope and then throw it. Oh man, nasty.
For me, it depends on what I eat.
That's why we've been feeding you tubers.
How deep is this crater?
It's about 15 feet deep. So as you guys move forward to get a better view, you look down and you see that what is inside it are strange, aberrant creatures that each have 4 long tentacles that sort of drag themselves along. And then as you reach about 120 feet away from them, you can't tell how they could possibly know this. Their body doesn't seem to exist so much as it's just a writhing mass of 4 tentacles. But the things begin to slide towards you, and you'll roll initiative.
Those aren't birdies.
Ooh, pushed the wrong button. 1 second. Let me get that encounter back.
In my one good dice roll all night, I got a 22.
Uh, 22 for Phelan, 7 for Siegfried. What did Thaddeus Ironbrow get?
1 second.
Who
6.
just making like bullshit characters with my rules that I gotta hide to not fuck things up. I'm just gonna kick this bitch out. Got it.
That's what I said. 6.
Phelan, you react first to these creatures.
Oh goodness. So as they start coming towards us, I'm kind of going to call out to them and just tell them to stop very firmly and forcefully to see if I can halt them.
Okay. They, being a
Very-
writhing mass of tentacles, are unaffected by your words.
So they're just going to keep coming towards me.
It looks like it.
Oh, goody.
Andreas.
All right. Phelan has my longbow. In that case, I will say, are they grouped up a little bit there? Within 10 feet of each other?
Yes.
I say, you've been thunderstruck. Thunderstruck. And I give him the old thunderstruck. Constitution 14 save.
How much? 14 damage? Okay.
Yeah. And then for my bonus action, I look over at Terminator. I say, walk along the razor's edge and do it. And I give him a bardic inspiration.
Thank you.
One of the creature moves and dashes, and then you see a knot of roiling, sort of ethereal light come blasting out of that space. And then a flash of light explodes between Phelan and Andreas. And I need you both to make a charisma saving throw.
Ah,
22.
Andreas, you are stunned and will
no,
miss
I'm
your
going to use
next
a
turn.
lucky. Let me try luck. I'm going to try luck.
I told you the result.
It says I can do it after
After you know the result or after you know the number?
after you roll the die, but before the outcome.
Okay, so I told you the outcome. So
Oh,
no
you
luck
didn't
for
get-
you.
All right.
Folan.
So 4 big magical creatures coming in our direction, and now my friends are getting fucked up by them, right? That's what I'm
Yep,
hearing.
you saw a rolling knot of ethereal light explode between Andreas and Phelan, and you can sort of see that Andreas is sort of knocked to his knees.
It's fine. Andreas spends a lot of time on his knees.
Yeah, I got that assumption from the husband he picked up just from being here a short time. So I would like to do my bonus action first. And that will be to mark this creature planar warrior style, you know. And then I'm gonna shoot it. Because why not? Because why not? Ooh. That is a nat 20 for 29, Mr. World.
Nat 20 does hit.
Alright, so 15. And another D8 force damage I'll give to you. Here. 19 total. And that's what I got.
2 more of the creatures come forward, and one of them blasts you with a similar cloud full, and I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh boy. 12.
You are stunned and will lose your next turn.
Awesome.
The rest are now only 40 feet away from the people who've moved forward, and then it is Siegfried's turn.
So they are outside of 30 right now.
Correct.
Oh man.
And
Well,
you can
that's-
tell the one that a Folan hit as you move forward. You can see that one is, it's not so much bleeding as leaking sort of that same type of energy that they've been firing out as blasts.
Gross. Well, I will summon the sword and say, "To battle!" and brush forward. We'll, as we're running, we'll do a bonus action hex cast on that same one. So the jagged mark will appear on whatever passes for a forehead or just a body of tentacles, whatever. We'll get up and then we'll throw the sword out and do an Eldritch Blast at it.
Okay.
So I have 2 now. So 21 and a 17.
Those both hit.
Oh, nice. So 2 hexes, 2 d10s. So it will take 18 damage.
Hey, Thaddeus.
Okay, so so my allies moved up.
Up to the edge of the crater. They're blasting stuff down at something.
Okay. So can I move do I have 3 allies within 30 feet of me? Or are all my allies?
They're pretty much all within 30 feet of you.
All within 30 feet. So we're going to bless Siegfried, Thurman, and Phelan.
What's that? 1d6.
That will add
1d4 to all your attacks.
to all your attacks or saving throws. For the next minute, as long as I keep concentrating.
Thank you, Thaddeus.
And then I will do nothing else, because that's an action.
Okay. That then brings us to Terminator.
All right. So they're how far away are they from us?
So they are 40 feet down into the giant crater, and you're 30 feet from the lip of the crater.
What's the slope on this thing? I mean, is it walkable? Like, can I jump down?
You would have to slide down it. It's very much not a walkable crater.
Well, Thurman would know if he can't have his footing, and then he probably wouldn't go down there. He's not that dumb. So he's going to hold his action. Be ready. Do I
Okay.
go into a rage yet? No. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
Phelan.
I don't like these things. Not one bit. At least one of them's injured, though, right?
It is heavily leaking the energy that it had blasted at Andreas and you.
Okay. I'm going to just go ahead and point my finger at that one and cast Eldritch Blast.
Okay, you channel that dark magic that you guys saw down in the lab and fire it out.
14 to hit.
You hit.
Sweet. Okay, so that's 6, and then let me add the D4.
So the D4 is on your attack roll.
Oh, okay, so just 6 then.
But nonetheless, the magic as you blast out, it hits it, and then you can see it sort of spread and consume that creature that then fades away as the energy that you blasted at it consumes it, and it has died. I don't know if you have anything that triggers off that or not.
I don't think so.
but it does not leave behind a body. And then Andreas and Folan both shake off the effects of their stun, just in time to look down as these things are unimpacted by the slope. Their tentacles just pulling them just as quickly up the slope. And so then there are 4 of you right on the lip, but Terminator readied an action for when they came up. And so they come up almost to you guys, but they have a 15-foot reach with the tentacles. And so right before they reach the lip of the tentacles, they snap out. And they will attack Siegfried, Thurman, Folan, and Andreas.
Hmm.
So you're ready. You just sort of like fend off at it as it tries to swing at you, Thurman. A 13 does not hit you. Siegfried does not get hit either. Folan is hit and then is grappled by the creature after taking 11 bludgeoning damage. As the tentacle reaches out, grabs her, and yanks her sort of towards her up in the air as if it's like pulling her into the center of its tentacles. And then Andreas is also hit and is also grabbed by the tentacles. And so this one creature has got both Folan and Andreas right as they sort of come to. You just see the tentacles reach out, wrap themselves around them, and grab them. Squeezing and doing 11 to Folan, 8 to Andreas. And it is then Siegfried's turn.
My friends will rush down to the crater at that grapply beast. We'll raise the sword before we strike and do our hex blades curse at it.
So it is 15 feet down the slope to attack with your sword.
So 30 feet of movement. Is it difficult?
You would have to be able to climb in order to move down this slope and still fight. But you could try to athletically slide past it and attack it as you go. You are a heroic person.
We'll try to do that. Now I won't do a hex based curse because I have to bonus action transfer this hex over to it. So
give me either an athletics or an acrobatics check to see if you fall as you slide down.
Oh my god! Don't do this to me. Do I get blessed on this, or is this?
It's
no,
a
it's
skill
saving.
check.
So 19.
You are able to control yourself as you slide down right next to one of these creatures.
How dare you try to make me fall down again?
You
I
love
hate
falling down.
I hate you so much.
Terrain is your favorite part of any fight.
No, booming blade. Let's get this thing wrecked. 16
hits.
Yeah, it's all right. So great sword plus a hex plus booming blade. Bam. And we are not hexblade cursed yet. So 11, 18, 23 damage.
Okay.
Strike at a tentacle.
Bury your sword in it as you slide by, and now you're at the very end of its other range. And it is Thaddeus's turn. You see your friend Siegfried sliding past these tentacles.
So really all I saw were tentacles came up and snatched people.
Yes.
Because I didn't move up to that.
And then Siegfried jumps down.
Okay. I'm going to move up to the edge then.
You see 8 writhing tentacles that are sort of grouped into 2-4 bunches. And they are wrapped around Folan and Andreas, fulfilling Andreas's hentai fantasies.
Okay. So, is it 4 individual creatures or 3 individual? How many individual?
It's probably 2 individual creatures.
2? Okay. So, is the same creature grappling the 2 people?
Yes.
Okay, I will Sacred Flame that one. Dex 15.
To your great surprise, as your fire sort of gets this writhing mass of tentacles, jerks out of the way, and your magic seems like it ought to have hit it, but it like sort of bounces off as if it has some sort of magical resistance.
Oh, fuck.
Thurman,
Okay.
Ow, ow. All right, so I'm going to follow Siegfried, and I'm going to. Can I slide past both tentacles? Or like it's coming.
you
from
could
one creature,
attempt to
right?
do exactly the same thing Siegfried did, yes.
All right, so I'm going to do that.
Give me an athletics check.
23.
You're very athletic. You slide right perfectly exactly how you want to be to attack.
All right. 19.
Hits.
Say 13 points slashing.
Your
Oh shoot! I forgot to go into a rage. Can
You
I?
can
Go
that-
use your bardic inspiration for damage, so
your battle axe digs into the creature as you slide by.
Mhm.
Are you gonna
All
make
right.
your second attack,
Yep.
Barbarian, with 2 attacks?
Yeah. 21.
Hits.
8 points of damage.
Ooh. This thing is leaking its energy quickly as it sort of fades into the air around it, and it's sliding and writhing as the tentacles holding your friends.
How many more of these things are there?
One.
Oh, just
Other than
one.
the one you just hit.
Okay.
And then it is Phelan's turn.
So I'm gonna go ahead and cast Eldritch Blast at the last one then, I guess.
Okay, and so a thing that I sort of failed to do is you actually have disadvantage on this attack.
Oh. Hooray.
Don't forget you have bless.
I do have Blast. So, alright, with disadvantage, I roll an 8 to hit.
The D4 is not going to bring you up, so it does miss. And this is just like you blast it, and this time the magic just sort of resisted as you hit it. You can see it just sort of bounce off the creature. Andreas, you are restrained.
my initiative.
Yep.
Okay, I'm restrained. Oh no, don't restrain
You
me.
have disadvantage.
Okay, I'm going to try to slash this spicy tentacle off of me.
Okay, do so with disadvantage, sir.
Even if I'm using my dagger, which I specifically take for such occasions.
Restrained does not care if it's a dagger.
Okay. Disadvantage. Come
You're
on.
still wrapped up in a tentacle.
Oh. 21 with disadvantage.
That is very good. You hit, and it had 1 hit point left, the one that had you. So
I chop
you
it off.
bury your sword in it, and then like it writhes and releases you, and you slide down its tentacle with its sword, venting the gas all over you as you and Folan are both released.
Woo.
And then Folan, it is your turn as you drop to the ground.
Okay. How many of these things are left? 2? 2 that we're attacking
1.
us. 1?
Mhm.
Okay. 1. So, I'm just going to do what I am good at doing. So, let's see if we can hit it. Let's see if we can do that. 20 dirty.
Hits.
$13 force damage in total.
Okay. The creature is going to snatch at Thurman and Folan. Thurman is missed, and Folan is hit on the exact same dice roll.
Jesus.
The target number again exactly, and you are grappled once again as you will take 10 bludgeoning damage. as it wraps around you again and lifts you a bit off of the ground. Siegfried, you continue sliding down the hill, your feet slipping.
How far can I climb back up?
You're needing to make an athletics check, basically to stop from sliding.
Okay, would that take movement then, or would I be okay?
It would take movement on your climbing, but basically, if you succeed, you don't move.
How deep is this hole?
It's about a
60 feet
50-foot deep crater.
Jeez.
It's a very large crater. Like there was a very powerful magic spell that was used here at some point.
Okay, I got a 23. 18. That's fine.
All right, so you do not slide down at all. You remain just about halfway down into the bottom of the crater. You dig your feet in and stop yourself from sliding.
Very slippery. Can
Then you have your action left.
Well, bonus action, move my hex to the one that's got my friend. If I can't move closer to it, we will shoot the sword out like the bell-bearing hunter and do a Eldritch Blast on it.
Okay, your Eldritch Blast has disadvantage, sir.
What?
Because the creature has, you have disadvantage attacking the spell with creatures. It was a creature with spells, just like Phelan does.
You?
Yeah. Because you do.
Okay, I don't think this well.
Why are you asking so many questions?
So I have disadvantage. So that is a 13.
13 does not hit your magic bouncing off some sort of resistant field that this creature has.
Got the second ray. So that's I rolled 2 6s. So
Thaddeus!
Has this thing been hit?
It is venting some of its energy, yes.
Beautiful. Let's try Toll of the Dead. I know it's resistant, but my shovel's broken.
Your shovel is broken and it passes the save.
Okay. Good luck, everyone.
Thurman!
Thurman, murder it.
Ow, ow.
You,
All right.
like your friend Siegfried, need to stop yourself from sliding into the bottom of the.
I thought I landed. Oh,
So
these things
you were
lashing out.
controlling your slide, but you're still sliding.
All right, hold on.
Like you're trying to slide down the side of a crater, and you did it looking cool, and now you also have stopped yourself from going down more because that's sort of your goal, but you're not climbing up right now.
I could do my bardic inspiration, but I guess that wouldn't matter. Okay. All right.
Your climb, your speed, your move being allocated towards your climb is enough for you to cancel out how much you're sliding with that athletics check.
Okay. Am I anywhere close to this thing?
You are about, so it was 15 feet from the edge. You're 30 feet down. It's large. You're about 10 feet away from it.
Can I grab my javelin?
Yeah.
Throw it. All right. Oh, rage. That's a waste.
Ow. Die.
24.
Hits.
I'll use inspiration this time. All right. It is 12 points. Piercing.
I'll take that little booger monster.
Phelan.
Back to me. Okay. Just the one left?
Yes.
I think I'd like to cast Mind Sliver at it.
Interesting. Let me read Mind Sliver quick.
It's an intelligence saving throw.
What's your DC?
15.
It failed.
Alrighty then. So it's going to take 7 damage. And it's going to subtract 1d4 from its next saving throw.
Okie dokie.
And that's end of turn for me.
Andreas.
All right, you thing, take this. 12.
That does not hit.
All right, and am I on the?
Oh, you're up on the lip because it doesn't actually move you, so your longsword doesn't reach its like body to hit.
So it's spot. Is there any tentacles within reach then? No.
No, it like so you have to attack its body to hurt it unless you're grappled. Like obviously you can attack what's grappling you. Swinging your sword at its like tentacles, the tentacles pull back.
All right, I'm just going to ready an action if it should dare to try to grab up on me again.
You're gonna let him and give it a kiss.
No, if I had a jar though, I would get its essences and distill it down to the very science of its nature.
Okay, Fallen, you are grappled, man.
I'm grappled again. Well, Mr. World, can I Misty Step out of that grapple check?
You can.
Okay, good. Let me do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to Misty Step right out. And because I'm a fancy pants, whenever I Misty Step out, since it's summer season, I'm just going to get out of its tentacles into the ground because I'm about to fuck it up again. It's going to take some fire damage since it's going to be within 5 feet of me. Minimum of 1 since I have no charisma mod. So he could just have 1 burning fire damage.
What is this?
Yeah. Phase Step gains additional effects based on my current season. It is summer season. Immediately after I use Phase Step, each creature of my choice that I can see within 5 feet of me takes fire damage equal to my charisma modifier, minimum of 1.
Okay. Oh, I do weird now. Okay.
Take that.
So you're teleporting right next to it.
Yeah, I'm just getting out and I'm going to stab it.
All right. So it needs to be right next to it to take that 5 damage. So you'd be on the slope and you might lose your feet. So you need to make either in a acrobatics or an athletics check to keep your feet.
Sure. 23 acrobatics.
You are very, very agile and just begin sliding down the mountain immediately, but you still have control of yourself to attack it.
Does a 16 hit it?
It does.
All right. It will be 6 damages.
Okay. The creature will snap its 2 tentacles at the feet of the large men out at the edge of its range and attempt to pull them off their feet. Thaddeus, does a 15 hit you? Not Thaddeus.
No.
Thurman. Also doesn't
Negatory.
hit him, but a natural 20 does hit Siegfried.
Oh no!
You are grappled, Siegfried, and you will take 15 damage as the tentacle wraps itself around your leg and jerks, and then you're off your feet and up in the air.
He's stroking me.
And then it's your turn. As you are restrained to begin your turn.
But I'm still 15 feet away like the other people, so I can't actually attack him.
When they're grappling you, you can like attack their grapple because you're at disadvantage. Like the tentacle obviously is wrapped around you, so being able to hit it is possible.
All right, we'll do that. Still got the bless. Hitting it with the sword is easier. You've fallen into my trap, you beast. So I can pick up my dice. Oh, well, that's a 7, so that's not going to hit. All right.
Okay. We move to Thurman.
Oh, all right. So I still got my shield. So I'm going to use
Yep.
my shield and my battle axe and the hilt of my battle axe to start like climbing up toward this thing.
Okay,
Right.
give me an athletics check.
Yeah, 20.
All right, you're able to climb up. It costs double your speed to move up, so you can move up right next to it.
Okay. All right. Double my speed? 80 feet?
Half.
Oh, half. All
It
right,
costs. It costs 2 of your 5 feet to move 10 feet. So
okay.
you can
Okay.
move up to
Sorry.
it.
So, all right. And then I go after it with my battle axe.
Okay.
Ow, you slimy bastard. Ow.
15 to hit. Wait, hold on. Bless. 16.
You hit.
Okay. 11 points of damage.
You bury your axe right in the sort of heart of this writhing mass of tentacles, and they begin to fade, sort of flashing the energy, which sort of shocks you, and you stumble back, but the creature dies, dropping Siegfried to the ground, where he slowly begins sliding down the crater.
Get a jar, get a jar, get a jar, quick.
And then the energy fades up into the air, because then you have a jar.
Oh, man. Daggone it.
Does that bring us out of initiative, Mr. World, or are we still
It
in?
does. The fight is over.
So what do we need to get out of this safely? It's another like acrobatics or whatever to get up the hill.
So you can work together and basically take 10 and get down safely and up safely, like you had been doing all the times when you weren't in the middle of a fight. The crater ordinarily is not a danger to you guys because you are quite agile or athletic, or have friends that are.
Big time.
If you are Phelan.
Yeah, I'm not athletic at all.
But you have friends that are and can help you move up and down. So you guys have actually moved through a couple of these craters before as you moved through. But you continue to make your way through, and eventually the road sort of ends, and you look down at a city that is, as Andreas and Thaddeus and Thurman and Siegfried, quite similar to the port city that Grimjaw described in the log. And you can see the ruins of the city sort of sloping down and crumbling into the waves, just like you expected, as you have finally reached the ruined city in which Grimjaw had found something that, in taking back, had caused the loss of his ship and his entire expedition. And with that, and me being very tired, we will do this.